Yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah,
Yes.
now it will be recorded in your name. Yeah.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Sorry, Prabhuji, I think I'm a little bit ignorant on that.
Om
No problem.
Ajnana-timirandasya Jnananjana-shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namaha Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshthaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharane Nirvishesh Shunyavadi Paschata Deshatarane. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktavrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. So I welcome all of you for this fifth session on this sixth verse of this NOI, Nectar of Instruction. We will be finishing this shloka and we'll start the seventh shloka today itself. So as a recap, this shloka is talking about so many things. Like last time, fifth shloka was talking about the Madhyama, Kanistha and Uttama devotees. This shloka is talking about how a person will be getting a test. And one should not see the material outlook of the devotees, but he should see in a spiritual outlook. One should not see the disabilities of the devotees or the seniors, but one should see that their service attitude. So that way one can advance from the Madhyama to Uttama. There are so many barriers, and majority and one of the main barrier is of this sixth and seventh shloka is talking about. Seventh shloka will be talking about why we are not getting a test for the holy name, which is the topmost medicine, and why we are not getting the test for that. Tannama Rupa Charitadi. Now this shloka is talking about this, like we are having so many materialistic outlook towards to see to the Vaishnavas or the spiritual processes. So that one should give it. And this is the essence of this verse is written here. Somebody can read this one. One should not look at the Vaishnava.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Exact verse essence. One should not look at Vaishnava devotees with a material outlook, caste, nationality, educational qualification, bodily appearance. We have to see our own material body as material, but we have to see another Vaishnava's body as spiritual. Example, Vrindavan Goswamis. His Grace Bhakti Charu Swami Maharaj.
His Holiness.
His Holiness Bhakti Charu Swami Maharaj. Pure devotee is sitting in material body, but all his endeavors are to please Krishna, and he is giving all his kaya, vacha, mansa only for Krishna. So it's like putting iron rod. It's like putting iron rod put in fire. It is also fiery. Pure devotee is dear to Krishna, and his body is also dear to us. We should see the devotional content in the heart of devotee by which he is chanting and dancing and glorifying Krishna. That is real seeing. Example, Jayananda Prabhu had tall body, and Srila Prabhupada said he looks like Lord Chaitanya. Example, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu seeing Ramananda Rai as Vishaka Sakhi.
Yeah. So the material outlook that we have to disassociate with the material outlook and associate with the spiritual outlook. What was he in the past, like the Vaishnava? One should not ask that. What was your caste, Prabhu? And now you are serving as a Brahmana. But what was your caste? And your like the habits are still of that caste. Once Srila Prabhupada was one of the disciple was filling a form, and there was one field mentioned that, is there any criminal offenses done, or whether he had gone to a jail. It was an official document, has to be signed. And disciple asked Prabhupada whether you went to jail. And Prabhupada replied that one should not ask this kind of questions to one's spiritual master. How one can ask this kind of questions? Whether you are having some criminal charges against you, or whether you went to a jail. That spiritual personality is sparkling clean. What to speak about the materialistic habits he is not having, because he has now started this the pure practices of Krishna consciousness, and he is advancing, and we are asking some questions like that. Prabhu Maharaj, whether you was like that, whether you was smoking cigarettes. One of the disciple of Kirtanan Maharaj asked to Kirtanan Maharaj, whether you was also smoking the cigarettes. So this is not the right question to ask to such a spiritual personality. Somebody can read this one.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Suddha Bhakti, pure devotional service, explained in text 3, which is instinct activity of the soul, is performed on the liberator platform. Consequently, a person situated on that platform is not affected by the modes of nature.
Yeah. Whenever somebody is in a Shuddha Sattva, there are the 3 modes are not affecting him. And such personalities, those who are the pure devotees, Shuddha Bhakti, that person is performing, that he is not bound with the 3 modes of material nature, Rajo, Tama, and Sattva. The people generally ask the question that, Prabhu, Sattva Guna is right, na? Is a mode of goodness. But the mode of goodness is also binding. How come it is? It's like Bhagavad Gita, one of the shlokas says that Brahma Bhuna Loka Punaravartino Arjuna Mama Vetya Tu Konteya Punarjanmana Vidyate. Even if you are going to the Brahma Loka, even if you are going to Swarga Loka, Brahma Loka, above this Bhuloka, still you are having a death. Brahma Bhuna Loka Punaravartino Arjuna. So there is a death, as sure as death. So, and whatever, how we can go to these lokas, like Swarga Loka, that we are doing some good activities, so-called good activities, where we are giving a food to the needy, we are giving water, we are supplying some needy items to a particular person. By that, we are transported to the Swarga Loka. But there is one shloka goes in is mentioned in Bhagavad Gita. Shine punya mrityu loke vishanti. Once you are spiritual, once you are that pious credits are over, then you will be dropped down. You will be dropped down to this Bhuloka, this earthly planet. And that's why it's like the mode of goodness is also of no use. And mode of goodness is the run, it is like a runway. On that we can have the spiritual plane to run. When one is situated in a Rajo or a Tamoguna, passion or ignorance, in that we cannot fly to the spiritual plane. But the mode of goodness is a runway to go back to God. So one should not get attached with the runway also. Like this runway track is also there in this material world only. And over a period of time, the person who is there in a goodness here, he will drop down to the passion and ignorance. So that's why one should aspire for the goodness. So that's why Shuddha Bhakti, pure devotional service, which is the intrinsic activity of the soul, is performed on the liberated platform. That person is not bound with the mode of ignorance, passion, and goodness also. Somebody can read this one.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yeah.
To judge a devotee by his external appearance is not only meaningless but offensive. What should be taken into account is a spiritual master's main business, which is devotional service, pure service to the Supreme Lord. A Kanishta Adhikari, being only concerned with worshipping the deity in the temple, is unable to appreciate devotees. What to speak of understanding who is a pure devotee? Still, the descriptions of a pure devotee given in text 5, especially the guidelines given by Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur, are sufficient to help the Kanishta develop the proper attitude towards the pure devotee and refrain from observing his activities from the material point of view.
So the Kanishta Adhikari should be instructed, especially the guidelines given by the Bhakti Vinod Thakur, which is mentioned in the text 5. These are the guidelines mentioned there. How a Kanishta can go to the Madhyama, that we have seen last time. So these are the guidelines one should follow, and then that person will not see through the material goggles that, okay, these people are also doing the same thing. Sometimes the people says that, oh, your sannyasi is Haribol, some voice is coming. So the people ask the question, Prabhuji, whenever the Gopalakrishna Maharaj comes here, whenever the Loknath Maharaj comes here, they are inspiring what? This is like 1 lakh book distribution. Now double it, 2 lakhs, 2 lakhs, 4 lakhs. These people are also fruitive. Na? Why they are asking to do such things like 2 lakh se 4 lakh crore, 4 se 8 crore? So means they are also passionate people. That way, somebody is very neophyte. He is not understanding the passion. They are using it for Krishna's service. One should use everything for the Krishna's service. Dovetail his passion to the Krishna's service. And these people are knowing perfectly how to inspire the conditioned soul like us to advance in Krishna consciousness. For them, this Ekantika Bhajan is all right for them. They can chant throughout days. I know that is like when Radhanath Maharaj takes us to different places, Mayapur, Vrindavan, or Jagannath Puri, he prepared his consciousness by chanting so many rounds. 1 week he is just chanting. And then after, when the yatra starts, he is asking us, the first lecture of the yatra is how to prepare the consciousness to stay in a holy dham. Because we are, I can say, so like me, always having the material consciousness, seeing the dham, how to see a dham, how to see the dham vasis. The right consciousness is created when the yatra starts. One day, it was like the funny thing, I really, whenever I remember this statement, that even if you are seeing that Vrajavasis, small kids are passing stool on the road, how you can see that? My God, it is like it is stinking. We just close our nose and just run from that place. But he says that it is that person has taken a Krishna Prasadam and he is passing. So Krishna Prasadam in a different form. I really feel that what kind of consciousness is required for that? This is amazing. The person of that level can understand, and he can guide us to see in a right perspective. So one should associate with such soul. It is like outside people will not understand what this person is speaking. That's why Ya Nisha Sarva Bhutanam Tasyam Jagrati Samyami. It is not only sleeping is mentioned in this Bhagavad Gita of this second chapter shloka. It has been mentioned that the lifestyle of the outsiders, the thinking process of the outsiders are completely different. Where we are starting, they are ending. They are ending. They are not knowing how to see the Dham. I took a yatra for 5-6 couples. They are upbringing like newly people, and I was asking them that how to see Dham, how to see a Devasi, how to see a Mayapur Vasis, like that. And they were saying, okay, yes, Puja, we understood. And the next day, when we were taking them through a rickshaw to Barsana from our ISKCON temple, we hired one car, and one rickshawala was troubling us. Prabhu, you can take me also. I will be taking 3,000 rupees only, coming and going, whatever the day or something. And I was saying that, Prabhuji, now we hired a car, and it is quite comfortable for us. So better you can leave us. But he was still nagging. Then one of the grahastha, one of the person who was there in a part of us, he was strong and stout, and he came in front of the rickshawala and says that, why are you disturbing us? If you don't play, I am just warning you right now, don't disturb. So I was just thinking that in the morning only we had a mood how to see Vraja Bhumi, how to see the Vraja Vasis, and now he is still in that. So I just requested Prabhu, please try to remember the morning lecture. We are here to support these people. We are here to beg forgiveness for all our offenses while we are there in a dham. By that only we can get the proper revelation of the dham, or else we will not get a proper revelation of the dham. Don't see the externals of the Vrajavasis, who is Rikshawala. Then he was saying that, Prabhuji, he was a Muslim. Then I say that, like, whether a Muslim or Hindu, I don't see that. He is there in a Krishna's bhumi. So that's why we don't have to see. Whenever you are there in Pune or in Mumbai or in Hyderabad, that time you can see that. But at least in a dham, don't try to see this externals. Because Krishna is there. Krishna is the whole maintainer, creator, and manager, everything, especially in a dham. For every other places also he is there, but it is his own abode. Bhu Vaikuntha. So there he is there. He should manage that, okay, whatever it is happening with his people, and they will get the realizations, okay, you should not do it like that. But who are we? We are there, the visitors. So better we should have that proper consciousness. Somebody can read this one.
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Prabhuji.
Krishna, Prabhuji.
I will read, Prabhuji.
Yeah. Hare Krishna.
Analogy. Just as an iron rod plunged into fire and held there for some time acquires all qualities of fire, the body of a devotee fully engaged in devotional service becomes spiritualized. Therefore, to consider it material is a great offense. Although the pure devotee does not take offense, Krishna will. An offense at the lotus feet of a Vaishnava is very serious. Indeed, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has described this offense as Hathi Mata, the mad elephant offense. A mad elephant can create a disaster, especially when it enters into a nicely trimmed garden. Hare Krishna.
So whenever a devotee is doing a devotional service, he takes the qualities of Krishna, just like iron rod plunged into the fire. So he takes the fiery qualities. The same way, whenever somebody is in fire of devotional service, he will become as good as Krishna. Sakshad haristvena samasta shastrena. Uktasya vyate eva siddhi. Kintu prabhuriya priya eva tasya. Vande guru shri Karanarvindam. It is not only one guru. It is, you can sing this, and while you are singing this, Vande Guru, it is been plural form. It is not singular form. It is a plural. It is not we are addressing only our guru. It is addressing thus many, like the guru community. Vande Guru Shri Charanarvindam, it is mentioned. So it is not for one person, it is for many. And Krishna takes the offense. If you are doing or committing an offense towards a Vaishnava, Krishna takes it the offense. Example is in Chaitanya Charitamrita, when Nityananda Prabhu's head was broken by, and profusely the blood was oozing out when Madhai hit him with the pot. And when Lord Chaitanya came to know, he forgot that he is a Mahavadanyaya avatar. And he asked, order his Sudarshana. He ran towards that place where the Madhai broke over the forehead of Nityananda Prabhu, and blood was oozing out. And when he saw this, he just ordered, Sudarshana, please chop the head of the Madhai. And Nityananda Prabhu came in between and says that, Mahaprabhu, you are the Mahavadanyaya avatar. You are not Krishna here. You are not the Lord Ram to punish like this. But you are here to reform the people by the chanting of the holy name. So it is not a killing. It is a reforming process. The Hare Krishna movement is the reforming process. So Krishna takes the offenses, but here it has been mentioned that whenever somebody is, there are like the Krishna takes a note, serious note that this person has misbehaved with my Vaishnava. So we should not have that kind of behavior with the Vaishnava, where the Krishna will be taking a serious note. Oh, Prabhuji has done this thing with my devotee. I will be writing down. Okay. And when Krishna's mercy will come in a mood of, in the way of chastisement, we don't know. And we are saying that, Prabhuji, my chanting was really good, but nowadays it is really horrible. I'm not knowing. That is a Krishna's way of correcting this. You are feeling that you are very pure Vaishnava and you are trying to correct others unnecessarily without any managerial role. You are trying to correct so many Vaishnavas and trying to find a fault in them. Okay. Now see your consciousness. Now see your chanting. Now you will be suffering in this. And one day that person, by the poor chanting or weak chanting, weak in Krishna consciousness, may leave also. So whatever we got it, we will lose it also. That is over a period of time, the Krishna will decide. So better we should have that. Is all others are the Krishna's devotees, all others are Vaishnavas, and I am a neophyte. Neophyte always fight. They are always having a trust. So like that. We can skip this one because I feel we have done with this. Now we will be going through another session. If somebody can read this one.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, I'll read.
Yeah.
Who is superior, managerially, spiritually more advanced, came before us in Krishna consciousness, senior in age, mood of chastisement.
Just 1 minute, just a minute. So these are the 4 things. Somebody is a managerially. Sometimes it happens that we are from many years we are in Krishna consciousness movement, but somebody is empowered as a manager and superior post than us. So one should not say, Prabhu, ye mere baad mein aaya hai. He came after me and I was managing the Rath Yatras, I was doing so many things, but that is not the thing. What was in the past, now what is there in the present? One should respect. Okay, now he is taking the responsible role. I should respect him. Spiritually more advanced. How to see somebody is spiritually more advanced? One should not see that, okay, Prabhuji, what is your consciousness? Is there any barometer for the consciousness? No. One should give that benefit of doubt that everybody is spiritually advanced. And moreover, those who are playing the roles as the superiors, those who are guiding us, they must be the spiritual advanced. Third one is came before us in Krishna consciousness. Obviously, we see that I came in 1999, somebody came in 1997, I will be paying obeisances. That's all. Senior in age, elderly people, because they are having the material wisdoms, they have seen many things before us. So they might be they are having that wisdom also. The material wisdom is also important in spirituality. So you can read further.
Mood of chastisement. Chastisement can lead to rebellion. Softness can lead to losing resources. Tolerate mediocre service. Goal is not to find fault, but to fulfill the mission's purpose. First, you give training and education. After that, your chastisement has any meaning.
Only chastising. If you are playing a role as a senior, the only chastisement will not work. And only let loose will also not work. And you are just tolerating. Okay, Prabhu, I am just tolerating my juniors. What to do? But the thing is that training and education is the main important thing. In a company also, the boss is always chastising. Under that boss, nobody would like to work. And if somebody is only having the softness and he is letting loose the people, then that junior will create or make many blunders because the boss is not having any view over him. And only not saying anything, just tolerating, yes, go on. See, that junior should see that my senior is always having a look at my services and he is encouraging wherever it is required. He is chastising also whenever it is required. So that way the relationship will build up. Somebody can read this next. What is dealing?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, please.
What if dealing with equals? First step is to build trust. You can correct an equal if you find that he will fall down otherwise. In peer association, we don't find fault with him. We tell our own struggle and ask for the other devotees' prayers. Personal traits, corrections are more painful to take up. If your relationship is very deep, you have spent a lot of time together reading Srimad Bhagavatam, etc. You understand each other, then you can give feedback to each other.
Yeah. So the people always sees that, okay, the equal can give a feedback or equal can correct. No, equal can just inspire. Somebody who is somewhat senior, he can only correct. We feel that it is like my friend only, Prabhuji, what to speak? Like I can just give my open heart feedback to him. Be watchful, because he is not only your material friend, he is the spiritual practitioner. Sometimes the people see that, Prabhuji, kya hai aapka management mein na problem hai. You are somebody, our friend becomes as a manager, then we try to say that, Prabhu, I feel you are not a good manager and you have done this things. But in peer association, one can inspire and offer the prayers to the Lord for his well-being. And read the Srimad Bhagavatam. And after that, if the deep relationship has developed, then if that person is asking, then only we can provide our corrections. And that way also is like that, Prabhuji, since you are asking this, and I feel I am nowhere to give a correction to you. You are knowing better than me. But still, since you are asking, I am just giving my opinion to you. So that way is a good way, safest way. Or else I have seen that the people are breaking the relationships. There is like one of the projects where Giriraj Maharaj was been asked that Radhanath Maharaj in his project, these things are happening or that things are happening. Then Giriraj Maharaj gave the answer that I feel, why are you asking me or why are you telling me? I don't know what is your mood of asking or telling. But the thing is that for me, my equal Radhanath Maharaj is most enabled person. He just used a word like that. He is knowing how to solve this situation better. You can ask him only. Something are happening, or as per the standards, the things are not happening. If I intervene, you want me to cross my limits? Then that person was, no, Maharaj, I was just trying to tell you. Then he said that in my community also, there are so many drawbacks or so many limitations. I know that. Whenever the project starts, projects grows, then there are so many things. Some people will be unhappy, somebody will not be following the standards. But as long as a spiritual personality who is leading the project, he is in a good stand, that project will be successful and Krishna will appreciate it. So that way one should see that, no, it is not that, oh, he is doing this project, he is opening a center there, and in center there are so many issues are there in that particular center, because my friend is not a good manager. I know that, and he will fail it. And once that project fails, then we are going to that person and saying that I was knowing this project will fail. Your scheme will not work. This is not a right attitude. Whenever he is asking, that time you can say, since he is asking, he is your equal, you are giving your opinion, or else your relationship with that Vaishnava will torn apart. Yeah, we can quickly read this slides now.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah.
How to associate properly. Appropriate attitude towards devotees.
Your voice is not clear, I feel.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yeah, now it is clear.
One should overlook a devotee having a body born in a low family, a body with a bad complexion, a deformed body, or a diseased. Who is a devotee? Principal characteristic: surrender to Krishna and his name. Secondary characteristic: other 25 qualities of a devotee from Lord Chaitanya's teaching to Srila Sanatana Goswami, Madhya Leela 22.78 to 80.
Yeah, so there are 26 qualities for a devotee. It is mentioned that he is a Mitabhuka, he is the poet, he is a Kavi. So these are the 26 qualities are there. If somebody is saying, I am trying to be a devotee, he should see that these are the qualities are mentioned. He is not overeating as per this Atyahar, and he is called as a Mita Bhuka. Mita Bhuka means whatever it is sufficient, filling the belly, that only. He is a Kavi, he is a poet also. So somewhat that sense also has to be there. If somebody is saying that I am not a Kavi, but then we can say that we are struggling to be a devotee. This you can read this.
Hare Krishna.
Honoring the remnants of the great souls. We should remember the qualities of great souls while eating his remnants. Uchista otherwise is eaten only by Sudras. Great souls Uchista can help us to get his qualities. Example, one devotee used to take salt from Srila Prabhupada's plate. One should not talk about caste. Naham Vipro Nacha Narapatir.
So, as per this materialistic outlook, I'm just talking about the remnants of the great soul, or else the next day or tomorrow onwards, one will be saying that Prabhuji, give me your Uchista, give me that Uchista. No, it is the great soul, means the pure devotees. If we are getting this Uchista of that pure devotee. Some people, the neophyte says that is it really hygienic, Prabhu, to eat others man's Uchista or the remnant? See, how we will be getting that Uchista then? Like how we will be advancing that? It is like the Uchista only. This is like one day, actually, one of the disciples of Prabhupada, when all the disciples and Prabhupada was honoring the prasadam, that time when Prabhupada was talking something and he just turned around his neck somewhere to answer the question, that devotee somehow or other, he took the kachori from the plate, and other devotees saw it. Oh, kachori has been stolen from the plate of Prabhupada. And then he immediately said, Prabhupada, he is stealing something from your plate. And then Prabhupada, with the grave face, as if he is going to chastise that devotee, he looked towards that devotee. Oh, really? You took it? Then immediately that devotee started eating. Then Prabhupada laughed and says that now he is advancing. Now he is advancing. One incident happened that Prabhupada was traveling in a train, in a plane, and he was having his lunch box, and that his assistant served that lunch box. In a train, the next person was the assistant, and he was asking, "You want more?" And Prabhupada was eating in a pattal, in a plane. And that steward, that Mataji, air hostess, was passing by, and she looked very weird, like in a pattal, somebody is eating. And without any asking, she's just pull her hand in a pattal, and what was that? Moody was there, and she just gulped it. And servant was in a rage of anger. He just ran towards that air hostess and says that, how can you dare such things? To eat from the plate or the pattal of my spiritual master. How can you do that? And Prabhupada was not minding. Okay, whatever it happened, happened. And that assistant, I feel it was, I forgot the assistant's name, but he wrote Harishori Prabhu, I feel, Harishori Prabhu also. And Harishori Prabhu wrote his book, that he saw after some years, 10 years or 11 years, the same air hostess become a devotee. And then Harishwari writes down that after 11 years, the prasadam showed the effect. The Uchishta showed the effect. So it is the prasadam or the Uchishta of the Lord, which comes in a Mangal Bhog, Raj Bhog or Sandhya Bhog. In that form, we are offering it to many. The same way, it is like the Uchishta of the pure devotee can transform. We can go fast now.
Hare Krishna. Prabhuji. How to associate properly? Appropriate attitude towards devotees' external features. If one has the principal qualification of surrender to Krishna, but if he doesn't have all of the secondary qualification to the full extent, he is still considered a devotee. As one continues chanting, the secondary qualification eventually fully manifest.
Yeah. So this 26 qualities, out of that, Krishna Eka Sharanam, this is the most prominent quality. And if somebody is having this Krishna Eka Sharanam, one quality, very genuine quality, he is having this. I don't know how to play the kartala. I don't know how to sing. I don't know how to compose a poem. I don't know many other things. But I wanted to serve Krishna. I want to serve Krishna. If that sincerity of the heart is there, then the Krishna will award it. I don't know cooking, but Krishna will give that quality sometime. To please Krishna, there is no barricading. There is no barriers. One should have the sincerity of the heart. So that's why we can ask that, oh Krishna, I don't know anything. There are so many people who are superior than me. Like in our temple, we can see there are so many people are those who are expert in many things. Cooking, the brahmacharis are here, very expert. I feel that I am not that much expert. I am not having that background of cooking. What to do? I am not a good mridanga player. Somebody is better than me. I am not a good singer. Many are better than me. What to do? One should not be jealous. One should have the sincerity of God because they have done so much devotional practices in their last life and this life also they are excelling than me. One should pray for his own thing and please be in that mood. Oh, Krishna, your devotees are really gems. And I am so fortunate I got their association. By that, Krishna will one day give that qualification of that particular Vaishnava also to you. So one should be in that mood. And whenever we are glorifying such Vaishnavas, those who are having this, apart from this Krishna Eka Sharanam, some other qualities are also there. One should glorify that. And by that sincerity of the glorification, Krishna gives that quality of that particular Vaishnava to you. Because Krishna is full of the qualities. Gunamayi. Nitai Gunamayi Amar. Lord Nityananda is full of all the qualities, whatever it is required for the sincere practitioner to follow. And that's why we are serving, we are trying to please Gaur Nitaya first. Because they are the most munificent, merciful. What you want, they will be awarding. That's why the Vaishnavas, the devotees of the western part of the world, they are always carrying the Gaur Nitaya because they are knowing that these are, nobody is Parama Karuna Pahudijana Nitai Gaurachandra Sabha Avatara Sara Shiramani Kevala Ananda Kanda. These are all always in a happy mood, full of joy. Kevala Ananda Kanda. They are always in a bliss. And they can award us so many things. So that's why one should pray to the Gaur Nitai or Gaur Nitai. I'm trying to be a devotee. I should not find a fault with others. I should praise them. Yeah, this one you can do.
Hare
Please
Krishna,
go.
Prabhuji.
How to associate properly. Appropriate attitude towards devotees' external features. A Vaishnava may be criticized on 4 counts. He is caste by birth,
Yeah.
previous sins or faults in this life, an unpremeditated accidental act of sin, and present traces of previous sinful activity. Though all these conditions may be present in a Vaishnava, they are in substantial grounds for criticism of a Vaishnava. Hare Krishna.
Just 1 minute, I'm answering. The next slide.
Hare Krishna. If we
Yeah.
criticize him, bear bad feelings towards him, or hear him criticized, we are involved in sadhu ninda.
Yeah. 3 things has to be done whenever somebody is criticizing a Vaishnava. It has been mentioned by the Bhakti Vinod Thakur only. Or somebody is criticizing Krishna, then he can kill that person. If in front of me, if somebody is criticizing heavily Krishna or my spiritual master, then 3 things can be done. The first foremost thing which I am going to tell you, it will be shocking to you, but it is mentioned in a Bhakti, in a commentary in a Bhakti Vinod Thakur's book, that one can kill that person and kill oneself. Because I heard this sadhu ninda, I heard Krishna's aparadha vakyas, so I can kill that person, I can kill myself. But that is not appreciated. That one should not practice it. Second thing is that one should try to defend and try to convert that person. Why are you doing? Why are you speaking about? Why are you speaking ill about Krishna or the devotees? Don't stop it. Stop it. And we are not able to do that. The third thing is very easy. One should go and go from that place by closing the ears. The third thing is the most important thing. Everybody can do it, and everybody should do it. Prabhupada, no, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was hearing, somebody came and he was talking ill about some other Vaishnava. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu just closed the eyes, closed the ears, and says that Vishnu, 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 Vishnu. One should not hear the ninda or the offenses statements about the Vaishnavas and Krishna, because that will pollute our heart. You can read this: blaspheming a devotee incurs the anger of Krishna. This is Harinam Chintamani.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, that is a question for the previous, the second one. You said if someone is talking ill the Lord, and we are trying to stop that guy. But if we do in that way, that faithless person, it is offense, right? In the 9th offense.
See, if we are hearing something, and that particular Vaishnava is talking ill about some other Vaishnava in front of us, we are trying to defend that Vaishnava and trying to tell that, oh, as per my understanding, this is not right. Why are we speaking? Well, better we can talk and resolve the matter in front. Backbiting is not good, I feel. In a very genuine way, or if we are not having any adhikar, we are the junior there and the seniors are talking about it, we should not correct that person. We should go out or close our ears. Not like that, Prabhuji, you are speaking ill about something. No, one can just wisely how to tackle this situation and tell Prabhuji, I am having some other work. If you just allow me to go out. So that way we are rescued ourselves. Because once we are started hearing about such things, and another Vaishnava is talking about that, third Vaishnava is talking about it, then we are trying to make our own perception about that particular Vaishnava, about whom these three were speaking. Why we are trying to become judgmental. That's why. And then one day we will also commit aparadha. We will be saying that these three were also talking and I got a confirmation right now because you misbehaved like that. No, we are not there to judge, do the judgment for the Vaishnavas. We should not do this. It is very serious, blaspheming a devotee in the angers of Krishna. Hare Krishna. You can read this.
Text 6. Vaishnava aparadha is more sinful than material sins. The conclusion is that if Krishna consciousness is covered by material sins, one can eliminate the sins simply by chanting the Hare Krishna mantra. But if one pollutes his Krishna consciousness by offending a Brahmana or a Vaishnava, one cannot revive it until one properly atones for the sin by pleasing the offended Vaishnava or Brahmana. This was the course that Durvasa Muni had to follow, for he surrendered onto Maharaj Ambarish. A Vaishnava aparadha cannot be atoned for by any means other than by begging the pardon of the offended Vaishnava.
Yeah. You all must be knowing the story of the Durvasa and Ambarish Maharaj. Durvasa Muni came in the place of Ambarish Maharaj, and that time Ambarish Maharaj was having the vrata of Ekadashi for 1 year, and it was a Parana time. That time only Durvasa Muni came, and it is the etiquette or the custom is that whenever the guest is there, one should give first to the guest, and then afterwards the guest permits us, then one can eat. But at Durvasa Muni, and at the time of Parana, he just went to take a bath and he was not coming out. So Ambarish Maharaj was very much perturbed what to do. Then he asked the Brahmanas and says that what has to be done now? Is like whole 1 year Ekadashi Vrat will be broken. So the Brahmanas told him that like you can drink water. So drinking water is as if you are not eating anything, but still the Ekadashi Vrat has been followed, and the Dwadashi you are eating something. That is like eating and non-eating is the same thing. It's like you are drinking water, by that you are breaking your fast, and drinking water is not eating, it is a drinking. So that's why you are just respecting your guest house. But when Durvasa Muni came to know that he drank water, so he was very furious and just tried to curse him and kill Ambarish Maharaj. He created one demon, and that demon was been killed by Lord himself. Lord came in person to protect Ambarish Maharaj, and Ambarish Maharaj was just folding his hands. Whatever you are saying, Durvasa Muni, I will accept that. If you want to kill me with this demon, I am ready. Maro bhi rakho bhi jo ichha tua, arpile tua pade, nitya dasapati agvika. It's like, I am your servant, O Lord. If you want to be, if you want me to get killed by this asura, I am ready right now. So the Krishna intervened and Krishna killed asura. Krishna threw his Sudarshan Chakra towards Durvasa Muni, and Durvasa Muni was fleeing. Different lokas he went to Lord Shiva, he went to Brahmaji, and everybody says that like we cannot help you. Then he went to Vaikuntha Loka. There he offered his prostrated obeisances to Lord Vishnu and Mata Lakshmi. And Lord Vishnu says that you committed an aparadha towards my devotee. Beg of forgiveness to him only. Then only the Sudarshan will not do anything. And then he came back to the Ambarish Maharaj, and Ambarish Maharaj was still with the folding hands. 1 year passed, after this whole episode where Durvas Muni was traveling, different personalities he was trying to meet to rescue from the Sudarshan Chakra. And then 1 year, Ambrish Maharaj was still folding the hands, and he saw this Durvas Muni was in a precarious condition. He offered the prayers to the Sudarshan Chakra and says that, "Oh Sudarshan, you are, by your darshan, the devotee like me or the fallen conditioned soul like me gets purified. I just request you, don't harm this Durvas Rishi." And Sudarshan Chakra stopped there, and Durvas Muni was relieved from the offenses. Whenever somebody is doing the offense towards a Vaishnava, one should beg forgiveness to that particular Vaishnava only. If we think that I committed a sin or the offenses towards a Vaishnava, one should ask the forgiveness to that Vaishnava only. And the Vaishnavas are very glorious. They are having the open heart. They always forgive. This is like Radhanath Maharaj says that one should not take the offenses and forgive and forget before the offenses are been committed against you. You should not say that, "Oh Prabhuji, I am the Vaishnava, you spoke something ill about me." No, if somebody is speaking ill about you, as a Vaishnava practice, one should forgive him and forget also. Forgive and forget. Before the offense is been committed, the Vaishnava is wholeheartedly, open-heartedly forgives that person, and he is forgetting. Sometimes forgiving is easy task, but forgetting that offenses is very, very difficult, case to case, because somebody is speaking ill about us. Somebody is committing an offense towards us. We are not the Vaishnavas. First of all, we should say that I am trying to be a Vaishnava. What is it is like he is speaking something ill, it must be right. The another thing one should think that is like, okay, I should not take it very seriously. And sometimes the people come to us and say that, "Prabhuji, I spoke something ill about you. Sorry, Prabhuji, please forgive me." And then we say that it has been forgiven, but we don't forget that, "Oh, ye vyakti ne na mere bare mein kuch to bola tha. He spoke something ill about me." So that forgetting is more important than forgiving. So one should forgive and forget also that I forgiven that person. So that is the most important thing. If somebody is doing the offenses towards us, if somebody is speaking ill about us. Yeah, you can start reading this.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Go ahead, Vivek Prabhu. Go ahead. Okay, once again. How to associate properly, appropriate attitude towards devotees' external feature. Raghunath Das Goswami gives an example of how one mistakes something bad for something good by using the example of someone who's bathing in ass urine and thinking that he is cleansing himself.
Yeah. Raghunath Das Goswami gives an example of how one mistakes something bad for something good by using the example. Yeah. It's like this, we are already taking ass urine and thinking that it is as good as cow urine and it will be purifying us. So that is not a medicine. So how to associate appropriate attitude towards a devotee's external features? So means like we are having that, okay, actually, Prabhuji, I am just associating with that person. But that person, whether that person is an eligible person, by his association, one can get purified, or by his blaspheming, we are more polluted. So one should be clear understanding of that, to whom to associate and what he is speaking, whether it is purifying words or whether it is a blaspheming words. That also one should know that how to associate properly. Yeah. You can read this now.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Let me read, Prabhuji.
Yeah,
So same,
please.
right? How to associate
same.
properly. Okay. That's
Yeah. Sometimes we discuss from that paragraph.
Yeah. So how to associate properly? Appropriate attitude towards devotees' external features.
No, the
Raghunath Das
next,
Goswami
the
gives
next
an
paragraph.
example.
The next paragraphs.
Okay.
Sometimes we discuss the faults.
Yeah, Prabhuji. Sometimes we discuss the faults of a Vaishnava and we are thinking that actually this is a very good discussion and very purifying to analyze these faults for the sake of clarifying issues to push on the movement.
Yeah, like the people in management meetings says, actually, we are just discussing about that Vaishnava because it is a managerial issue. But are we really taking enjoyment of the fault of the Vaishnava? That one should check. Once a person becomes a manager or the high post holder, that time he thinks that I am just talking about the issue. But are we really relishing that issue? That particular Vaishnava has done some action which is not proper. He misbehaved with some woman, or he misbehaved with the money, and we are just talking about that more and more and taking enjoyment. That is not good. We can skip this 3-4 slides because it is talking about same thing. Dealing with the important Vaishnavas also, which we talked about. This one. You can just read this translation. This is a shloka. You can read this translation right now. Where were the hunter?
Where were the hunter, Dharma's piety, Dhruva's maturity, and Gajendra's knowledge? Where was Kubja's beauty? Where was Sudama's wealth? Where was Vidura's noble birth? Where was Ugrasena's chivalrous strength? Lord Madhava is pleased only by devotional service and not by material qualifications. Sri Dakshinatya.
So, where were the hunter Dharma's piety? When he was a hunter only. And what was the Dhruva's age? He was a very small person, small boy. And what about the Gajendra's knowledge? You must be knowing this story of the Gajendra. It was his leg was captured by the crocodile, and thousands of years he was trying to rescue. But the Lord himself came when he just whirled this flower over the sky and says that whoever is the supreme personality of Godhead, to whom I am just announcing that this whole flower is there for your pleasure. Please rescue me. And by that gesture, the Krishna came. And then he just rescued Gajendra. So what was the knowledge of the Gajendra? 1,000 years he just fought. Then afterwards, one single gestures to please the Lord, then the Lord appeared. And Kubja's form, then Sudama's wealth. So these are all the materialistic outlook. By that, I can practice the devotional service. Prabhu, I don't have money right now. I will be working very hard and I will be acquiring money. Then once I can practice peacefully. The people always say, Prabhu, I don't have that much wealth. Prabhu, I don't have that much. Now it is not the age of mine that I need to invest something, my 10 years, and then afterwards I will be practicing. After 50 or 60, the people should practice the devotional life. No, it is like the age is not the barrier, the wealth is not the barrier, or the knowledge is not the barrier. One should start practicing, and by that one can please Madhava. Externals are not mattering here. You can read this one. Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes great souls also see caste. Srila Prabhupada, in ISKCON, we should take only educated boys. If they are uneducated, make sure they are hardworking. Either they are educated, then they should use intelligence to propagate the movement. Otherwise, uneducated should work hard. In Varnashrama, the caste, creed, etc. are seen even on the platform of Dharma. Example, Draupadi during Swayamvara. When it comes to the Vaishnava Dharma, one should transcend this. Example, Vidura, Kubja, Jatayu and Guha.
Yeah, so it is, Prabhupada says that it is like we are discriminating also. As an institution, we should discriminate. There are the people, those who are take the undue advantage of ISKCON. Then, like the people who would like to join for, okay, I would like to marry American girl. Okay, I will like to go to America. So this is the best platform. The people use that. So that's why it is the discrimination is also required. One time, one person came to Pune temple. He was a young guy, young people, young person was, and he came with his father and was asking to us that, Prabhuji, I heard that you take some people as a full time. So we were telling that, yeah. Are you interested for yourself? Then he showed his father. His father was 80 years old. And he was saying that he is the guy. Like, he is my father and I would like to go abroad. And you people will be taking care of him. Then I asked him the question, why don't you join it? Because if you're joining, you are educated, you are young. You can do a good service here. You can preach. No, my father also can do. But your father will not able to manage himself. It is not an old age home. We are in a mission. And you are most welcome. And if you are serving, then we can serve your father also. So he misunderstood and said that you meant to say that you want some money. No, we are not interested for your money, but you can give some time. You can be a preacher here. You can be staying in an ashram, and then your father needs will be taken care. No, Prabhuji, I am having so much prospective future for myself. How can I join it? Then another friend was asking that, my another friend was asking, so you meant to say that we are not having the prospective futures here? We are also having the prospective futures. So if you would like to join, we are making it sure that your father also will be taken care of nicely. Then he said, Prabhuji, tomorrow I will meet. Let me think. And he never came back. So the people would like to take undue advantage of that. Okay, ये मिशन में ना मेरे माता पिता को डाल दूंगा, मैं मेरा पैसा कमाऊंगा, I will be earning for myself, and let them take the my mother and father's care. So it is not there. So that's why we are, and those who are uneducated, they can also join. They can also be a part of ISKCON. The rickshawalas are also the ISKCON devotees. Those who would like to join as a full time, for them, the condition is that they should be hardworking. They should not have that, "Arey, मैं इधर आया हूँ ना, मुझे कुछ भी नहीं करना है. I will be just lying down on a bed." No, it is a mission. It is a mission. Whenever we are joining, it is a mission that we need to please Prabhupada, or else we can struggle outside where the people are earning. It is not that, like, whenever I joined, that time my counselor was telling me that what the way you was working outside 9 to 6, same spirit, 9 to 6 and more than that for Krishna. It is not that some concession or we are lazy sadhus here lying down. Kuch bhi chalta hai. And these people are offering us 3-time foods. No. The mission is there, then only you can join. Or else you can work where you was working. I was not knowing that why he is being like that. And then after spending so many years, I am now understanding that these are lazy sadhus will not be contributors. They will be just demanding so many things. Prabhuji, usko wo gaadi diya, mujhe nahi diya gaadi. But what is the, one should ask that what is my contribution? Whether I really need it, whether my services are needing that. That way we can judge others and try to excel. It is not a competition. It is try to excel our services. What the best I am at, I can offer it to the Krishna. And then the management will be thinking about, this person is doing something for Krishna consciousness. There is one devotee who is like, who is there in the Rath Yatra management with me. He showed the interest. It's like I was doing alone, and then he showed the interest. That time he was not having so many facilities. And once he started showing the interest, after 2 years, the management called him and me also. He is doing a lot. Whether we can offer him some vehicle, because we are seeing that this person is really doing a job of 5 people. I said that I was trying to ask you people as in a course of management meeting here, but I was just waiting from your side. It is not to give a facility to my assistant only, because he is my assistant, so that's why I'm just asking facility for him. But it is good that you just noticed his services, so you can give it. So it is like once one is offering the services, then the facility follows. That's why the discrimination is required. Who is doing what? Hare Krishna. So it is like that discrimination in the terms of the services are required. And one has been observed for 2-3 years, 5-6 years, and his enthusiasm is still or increasing more, then the management thinks about, Arey Prabhu, this person is really a gem person. It is day and night. It is like one time. It is like during the Rath Yatra services, one police called us at 12 o'clock in the night. Our arches were there. We put up the arches over the road, and the police called and threatened us that Prabhu is like, he was not talking about Prabhu and all. Hey, you guys, you are putting the arches. It is disturbing us in our camera views. Immediately, right now in the night, you have to dismantle them. And I took my assistant with me, and he was trying to pursue him. Sarji, give us 1 day time. We are the organization, we are the reputed organization, and we are giving you the promise. Tomorrow the arches will be in different position. It will not happen. But you are telling us right now in the night. So that police was threatening us and says, no, nothing doing right now, or else your organization, we will be having a Jahir notice, public notice for them. Then somehow or other, that personality, our devotee was saying that, mind it, if you are threatening us, we can also threaten you. And I was asking, surprised, like, Prabhu, how can you just say like that? No, this person is talking something about ISKCON. I cannot tolerate it. I can ring up right now. And he was in a position to ring the commissioner. Then that police said, no, take it tomorrow and we will just manage it. The next day, that police called us and says that whether you was really having a connection with the commissioner of Pune. Then I showed him that I am having it. This person was not having the phone of the commissioner of Pune. Then how he can say like this? Then the devotee was saying that, Prabhuji, when you talked something ill about ISKCON, then I was really on fire. So that's why I was in the intention of calling somebody in our ashram only. And I was just trying to tell him that you please act as a commissioner. I am just talking to you right now. So there's the people are those who are eager to serve Krishna. They can go in some extent, such extent that these people will not be having the time limit. Prabhuji, abhi 12 baje hai, ashram ke sab log soye hue. Why are you just disturbing right now? I was not hesitant to call him because to go alone and meet that person, better till somebody is there with me. And then he says that Prabhuji, at any time you can give me a call. I will be ready for the services. Because for me, Krishna and for the Prabhupada's service, there is no limitation. And such personalities should get a facility. They should get a facility. And the management is discriminating with these people and those who are not offering that their best. One person asked, it's like he asked that, Prabhu, we are serving here 9 to 6. So we should get facilities like that, those who are serving from last 10 years. Then the management replied that you are talking about 9 to 6. So your consciousness or your mood is that I am offering 9 hours of the services. So that is a calculative mentality. Please don't be a calculative person. It is the organization of the mood and mission. We are having the mood, zeal to serve. So it is a war game. So that's why we need to offer our best. And one should not think about what will happen after 15, 20 years when I will be disabled, when I will not be able to work. That is the Krishna's part. Krishna will be playing something other. Why to see a caste that we will not seeing this? Like I'm just going further. Yeah, this slide you can.
Srila Prabhupada says, Guru puts the disciple in most fortunate situation, but disciple, due to his own independent mindedness, falls down.
So one should not blame a pure devotee that, oh, your organization, there are so many people are doing so many nonsense things. Principle wise, the pure devotee gives a principle or a direction, and he is telling the instructions and do's and don'ts also. So the Prabhupada is not being blamed. One should not blame Prabhupada that your so many disciples are leaving. Your so many disciples are doing so many ghotalas. They are doing so many nasty things. So the founder Acharya has been blamed for that. No. Because we are struggling with our mind and senses. We are having nastiness in our mind and senses. And that's why we are just pulled down and fall down. Then how that personality who is guiding us is being blamed? Because we are not trying to follow his instructions purely. We are not trying to follow the instructions and we are not executing as he has told us. So that's why the fall down happens. But still, those who have went away from our mission, those who were the Prabhupada's disciples, they are having a good regard with Prabhupada. They always speak good about Prabhupada. Why? Because they are knowing that it was his purity was there, and he guided us well. But I was not able to hold it. My patra, my pot of holding the instruction was not good. It was having the leakage. So the water or the mercy was not holding. It was not been held properly. So who is responsible? The mercy is flowing, but we are not able to hold that mercy. We are the responsible.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Please go Please go ahead, Mataji. Please go ahead.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yeah, please go.
Our duties and consciousness. Guru will see your mentality and engage you, but one has to align with his Diksha Guru. We should teach what Guru wants you to learn. Our preaching should be such that everyone becomes inspired to surrender to Guru. We have to tolerate the managerial incompetence of superiors. We should come well in time with eager heart to hear from the great souls. Leniency is the best policy in dealings with seniors. See that they are always fixed in the mission of Srila Prabhupada. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, so Mahaprabhu also showed the leniency whenever he was dealing with his seniors. Who were the seniors? Ramchandra Puri. When the Ramchandra Puri was finding fault with the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he never objected. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was been severely blasphemed by the Ramchandra Puri. He was saying that you are eating too many things. You are eating too much sweet. What kind of sannyasi you are? But he always, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu always thought and saw that he is at my guru level. Even Krishna himself was been by the Shishupal. Shishupal saw so many faults in Krishna and blasphemed him. But Krishna, after 100 of the fault, when it was been spoken by Shishupal, then he killed him. It was so many times, it was like Shishupal was not in a one incidence, but so many times he was knowing that if I commit 100th aparadh against Krishna on that same day, then I will be killed. So many times he was speaking ill until 99th, and somebody used to stop in 99 ho gaya aapka. Don't speak. So like that, years passed down from his childhood, and when he grew, that time he crossed the limit, and then that time he was being killed. Then once Paramananda Puri came to meet Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he was at his guru's level, Ishwar Puri's god brother, and he was having the deer skin. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wanted to correct the Paramananda Puri Pad, and asked that, I think I am not talking with the Paramananda Puri Pad, who is my spiritual master's level. I am not talking with that. And then the Paramananda Puri Pad understood that since I wore this deer skin, which is many times in many incidences, the Mayavadis wear this one. So that's why the Vaishnava etiquette to not to wear deer skin and come in front of the personalities like the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So that's why he is disliking, that's why he is not recognizing me. So that is the way of correcting the superiors. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu never says that you are becoming a Mayavadi, I don't want to see your face. He says that, I think I am not talking with the Paramananda Puri Pad. Somebody else is talking. So it is like the first part, which is Guru will see your mentality and engage. And one should, as a Diksha Guru, it is another thing, but whenever one is preaching, there are in ISKCON, there are so many multiple Gurus organizations. It is so many Gurus are there. In India, we are having Radhanath Maharaj, Loknath Maharaj, Gopal Krishna Maharaj, Radha Govind Maharaj. So many people are there. Bhakti Vikas Maharaj. So it is not that one should propagate somebody. Whenever some juniors are interested, it is for as a senior, one should give a whole wide idea that these are the gurus here, and one should not propagate his own guru to that junior like that. It is his decision. So whenever the IDC course happens, ISKCON's disciple course happens, that time a teacher is a neutral and he tells that why this course is there. And he just tells whoever is coming, is like it is a Bhakti Vikas Maharaja's is clear, somebody is inspired by him and he would like to take the Diksha from him. Somebody is from the Radhanath Maharaj group, somebody is from the Gopalakrishna Maharaj group. The IDC is a platform where the teacher is not biased and he gives the teaching about the course. So that way one should be not biased that, okay, Prabhu, he is not from my group or my spiritual master's group. Why I should help him? Why should I cooperate with him? No. One should cooperate with everyone because it is almost like after all, they are in ISKCON tree. They are in ISKCON tree and we don't want it to make ISKCON into the branches. ISKCON is a full tree and one should, it's like whoever it is, like the spiritual master is not only of that caliber, like that, okay, we have to just that. Okay, Bhakti Vikas Maharaj, I feel I cannot deal with that personality. No, one should deal with everyone wholeheartedly. Don't try to make the groups like that, Radhanath Maharaj group, Gopalakrishna Maharaj group, Lokanath Maharaj group, this group, that group. So many groups will become. One should come together, be as one society. Okay, we will go further. Yeah, this is a very nice picture where Prabhupada is speaking that, Are, why are you doing and kya kar rahe ho aap log? Why the books are not going? So it's like wonderful mudra is there. He is showing his concern. Why the mission is not expanding? Like that. Read, please read it.
Krishna Prabhuji. Oh, okay, go ahead, Prabhuji. Subara Prabhuji, go ahead.
Proof for chastisement is out of false ego or concern. Transcendental anger is short-lived anger to achieve some spiritual goal of living, spiritual goal of giving some important instruction to disciple. There is no vengeance left. If one offends such great souls without understanding their good intentions, then one's chant is affected. Hare Krishna.
Yeah. 8th chapter, no, 7th shloka, but unfortunately we are just running short of time. So if somebody is having some questions, the next time we will be finishing the 7th chapter. Every day, we need to finish one shloka. Then only we can finish our score. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 5 days are remaining and 5 shlokas are there. So we will go fast afterwards from Monday onwards. Somebody is having some question, then they can ask.
Prabhuji, one question, Prabhuji.
Please.
On the previous slide, there was something mentioned about the Garuda, and that slide. What we are, yeah, Vidura, Kubja, Jatayu, and Guha. So they are low. They are low. You mean they are fall into Shudras and that is what you are trying to say?
Yeah, Vidura, what was his, like this shloka is there, na? Where the hunters, dharma pieties. So it is externals are not obstructing us to practice the devotion service. Whatever the consciousness the Lord Madhava sees and he is pleased with that. He is pleased with the devotion. So Vidura was born with the Dasi Putra. So what was his Kula? It was a Dasi Putra. Kubja, what was her form? She was Kurupa. Jatayu, animal, bird. And Guha was in Lord Ramchandra's Leela. He was outcast. So that is not, but they
when
are.
It comes to Vaishnava, when it comes to Vaishnava Dharma, one should transcend this.
Yeah,
We should
no,
find
one should transcend this means what? One should not see their background. Every sadhu is having some background. And if you are just trying to see, oh, what was his background? One day, one devotee came to me and says that, Prabhuji, that particular brahmachari in white you are seeing now, he is from the Dalit background. And since that that devotee was my friend who was talking about like, I just watched towards him and said, what are you talking, Prabhu? Then he clearly understood, Are Prabhu, I should not speak it like that. I was just testing you. What is your opinion about that? Prabhu, whatever it is, he is better, and what kind of mudanga he is playing, you know, we are not able to play that. What is his consciousness? One should try to see that personalities like this. They are such a excelling. They are like Guha. What was his consciousness? Outcast. He was full night was awake. What was his this thing? That when Lord Ramachandra came to him, he was outcast. He just crossed the Sharayu river, and Lord Ramachandra was in 14 years of the Vanvas. That time, first personality he met was a Guha. After that, boat wala person, what was his name? The boat wala is not taking money from the Kevat was saying that, oh Lord, you are trying to give me some money. If you would like to give something to me, then as you are, Miss, I am just crossing a small river from that boat. Then you please give me one benediction that while I was passing this Bhavasagar, will you hold my finger? That only the thing. Because I know that you are the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and what is my fortune? What is my whole occupational fortune? That years together I was passing through this, and I was waiting for that moment because Narad Muni told me that one day Lord Ramachandra will come to your boat, and that time onwards I was just waiting for you only, and I was knowing that you will be coming. And morning to evening, I was just standing there. I was not taking any passengers. From many years, I was not taking any passengers. This story, the people don't know that he was just there. And when he saw first time Lord Rama, the mother Sita asked that, why this personality is smiling at us? The Lord replied that he was waiting from 11 years for me. So that's why he is laughing. He is smiling that that day has come. Like a Shabri was waiting. So Guha, when the story of the Guha is that when Lord Ram came, that time Lord Ram's protection was been managed by Lakshmana. Whole night he was awake. Lakshmana was a personality where 14 years he never slept. Whole 14 years he never slept a single night, single day. And his wife also here in Ayodhya, I actually forgot her name.
Urmila.
Urmila.
Mataji.
Yeah. So Nidra Devi came to Lakshmana and asked that one day you would like to take a rest. I will be just doing the needful for you. Lakshmana says that for me it is 14 years. I took a vow that I will not sleep. But you can check with my wife there in Ayodhya, because I am also doubting that she is also not taking rest because her husband is also not taking rest. You can go and pacify her if she takes rest. And when Nidra Devi comes in front of Urmila, then Urmila was been tested there. Nidra Devi says that your husband requested you to take rest. Then Urmila asks that you are also a Mataji, you are also a lady. You are also a chaste lady, Nidra. How can you give me such guidance and counseling like that? Then the Nitra Devi says that I was just testing you. I was knowing that you will not hear from me. This Guha was doubting on the Lakshmana. Like Lakshmana was always having the bow and arrow with him, and he was circumambulating where the Mother Sita and Lord Ram was resting. And the Guha told his Senapatis that because this Bharata, Lord Ram is here, I am just doubting on this Lakshmana. And one night he can kill Lord Ram. So Guha was awake with his bow and arrow, and he was following Lakshmana. And the Lakshmana was not knowing that Guha is being followed. And the Guhas, all the citizens, they were thinking that this Guha is also outcast. We don't know. We cannot trust him. He may also kill Lord Ram. So all the citizens were also that particular night, they were circumambulating the Guha. So whole night, nobody slept except Lord Ram and Mother Sita. So that is the devotion. For Lord Ram, anything. For my Lord, anything I can do it. That is, it is not a caste. What is a caste? The people, the Karmakandi people says that, Prabhuji, but the caste is also required, na Prabhu? You people are born in a Brahmana, somebody is born in this. Prabhu, what is a caste? So many Brahmanas are there, so many South Indian Brahmanas are there, so many people I know that, so many Maharashtrian Brahmanas are there. Whether are they taking the Krishna consciousness? No. The person who is taking Krishna consciousness, he is the topmost. Even if he is not knowing how to chant Hare Krishna Maha. The South Indian Brahmanas were criticizing, and in their critics, they wrote down to Prabhupada says that your people not able to chant Hare Krishna. The Chinese are talking, or the Chinese are chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Or the Europeans are not able to chant Krishna nicely. Then the Prabhupada says that, so what? But they accepted wholeheartedly the Krishna and Rama. What about you people? You are born in a Brahmanical family. You are having so many samskaras, but you are still doubting on your Lord. Whether Lord Krishna is a supreme personality of Godhead or not. That is a basic question you are not understanding, or the answer of that. What is the use of that? So these people are putting a faith on me, and they are preaching about the Gita and Bhagavata. Who is better than? Then the South Indian Brahmanas said, no. I was just trying to test like that. So this is the caste is not a barrier. The form is not a barrier. The wealth is not a barrier. Anybody can become a Krishna's devotee and progress in this process. Hare Krishna.
Thank you.
Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai, Gaur Premanand ki Hari
Hari Bol.
Hari Bol.
So next time we will be a bit fast because of 5 shlokas and 5 days. So we will be very fast. One day, one shloka we will be taking. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much, Prabhuji. Dandavat Pranam, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.